everyone, I'm Lori Radke with the Greater Green Bay Chamber. Thank you so much for joining me today for another episode of our Community Conversations. So excited to share with you, I'll be sitting down with Robyn Davis, President and CEO of Brown County United Way. So sit back and enjoy. Thank you. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Community Conversations. It's my honor, privilege, and pleasure to be sitting here with a dear friend of mine, Robyn Davis. She's the President and CEO of Brown County United Way. Welcome, Robyn.
Well, thanks so much for having me, Lori. It's always a pleasure.
I'm really excited to have a conversation with you and give people a little bit of an insight to Brown County, your thoughts on the community, and a little bit of information about you. So that's always exciting when we can share and learn more about our community leaders. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
So just so everyone knows, I've had the privilege and honor to work with Robyn for over a decade. And so really as an opportunity for the Chamber and United Way to come together and make some transformational impact on the community. So again, thank you for your support and your guidance, and such a collaborator, and I appreciate all of that.
Well, this relationship between Brown County United Way and the Greater Green Bay Chamber is really very special, not just for our community, but as I connect with colleagues around the country, they're always surprised, intrigued by the relationship. How'd you make that happen? And it actually predates my coming on board at Brown County United Way and our board of directors really taking seriously the collaborative relationship we have. And the instructions when I got hired was, don't mess this up, right? We've got a good thing going, and let's build on it. So I'm excited to be here again.
That's great. We can accomplish so much more together than by ourselves.
Absolutely.
And we've proven that. I want to talk a little bit about our community. Could you share with our viewers, what do you think makes Green Bay such a great place to work, live, and spend time in?
Well, I think that having been a resident for 20 years, what I found is the size of our community really allows us to come together in a way that doesn't happen in larger cities.
Absolutely.
And in the 20 years that I've been here, I think that our conversations have changed and they've grown. And we see more people who look different. And so we have that growing diversity and still that small town feel. And having grown up in New York City, the idea that you can pull up to your banker, hi, Robyn, or you can go different places and folks know you by name, is really something special.
Oh. You know, Robyn, we talk about the need to really have a diverse community, right? And just all the benefits that come along with that. And you are a co-chair of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Task Force. Could you share a little bit with our viewers why that's an important group coming together and really tackling tough conversations for our community?
Sure. I think, first of all, it was quite visionary to have diversity, equity, and inclusion included in the Chamber's Economic Strategic Plan, and really highlighting the fact that it isn't just about what businesses are we going to build and how we're going to invest, and that talent attraction, retainment, is that a word? And recruitment is really important. And the way we do that is by embracing diversity in the broadest definition.
Wonderful. I want to shift a little bit and talk about Brown County United Way. So in 2023, I believe you're celebrating 98 years, is that correct?
Yes.
So what an accomplishment, right? And really an organization that is here to serve. Could you share a little bit about what are some of the top initiatives you're working on right now that you'd like people to learn a little more about?
Yeah, thanks for that opportunity. And it isn't just that we've been in the community for 98 years, it's that we talk about the heart, and it's also a matter of listening with a heart to serve, right? And so in the 98 years that we have been in this community, we have evolved and changed, and that's been the result of listening to the community, keeping our eyes open. What are the things that are changing? What are the needs that are emerging on the horizon? And then how do we address those needs? And when I came on board in 2017, that was the charge. We need to refresh, we need to reimagine. What are we going to do different in this next span of time, really to remain relevant? And we've been able to do that. And last year, we secured two of the largest grants in our history that really are fueling our impact initiatives and our advocacy. So everybody knows Brown County United Way as a grant maker, a grantor, and serving and helping our local nonprofits to serve individuals and families in need. However, our strength is taking that granting opportunity and the support of nonprofits and go from individuals to how do we impact the community at large, and then how do we impact society, right? And when you have those three levers, when you're pulling those three levers at the same time, that's how you see transformational change. And I'm excited that we're in that space.
When we talk about the goals and really all the heavy lifting that United Way is doing, how can the community support you in the effort that you have? You have a campaign on an annual basis, but did you want to talk a little bit more about that or other ways that we can rally around you and support all your hard work?
Absolutely. So the slogan, if you will, or tagline that you see with local United Ways across the country, and we are 1,200 strong, is give, advocate, volunteer. And certainly giving, not just financially, but time, talent, and treasure. We have a number of volunteer opportunities through our councils, through our board of directors. So we're always looking for folks with great skills that want to give back. Certainly it takes money, right? It takes financial resources to implement initiatives, so that's important. And then giving of your time, right? And advocating. So when you hear about a need, and I've said this a lot, and I think I said it just to someone last week, people think, well, we're going to have you come and speak, and then, you really want a check. So I'm not going to turn down a check, obviously, because it helps to pay the bills.
Absolutely.
However, what is really equally as important is you now have information about our community. So the next time someone says there's no homeless problem in Green Bay, or there's no food insecurity, or whatever, anybody can find childcare, or, mental health services are everywhere. Individuals will now have information to say, you know what I heard yesterday, and that's not true, or here's how you can help, or here's a way that you can write to your legislator. It's information that people can then take with them to their sphere of influence. So that's really important to be an advocate.
Information is powerful, right?
Absolutely.
And I think you have a fabulous website. I've been out there frequently. And so certainly folks could go out to your website and find additional data. Could you talk a little bit about the ALICE report?
Sure.
In case someone's not familiar with what kind of information and data is available.
Absolutely. So ALICE stands for Asset Limited Income Constrained. I spelled it wrong, right? Asset Limited Income Constrained Employed. And that really fueled the work that we did around strategic planning. And it expanded the target population of individuals and families that we serve. So folks have known for decades, and many of my colleagues around the country are celebrating a centennial, just like we will be doing in 2 years, that we serve those who live at or below the federal poverty level. And with that comes an image that people have. You're not working, you're this, you're that, the other. And that may or may not be true, because everybody has a story. And what I discovered in the years before I came to United Way is that many people, many families are struggling to meet their basic needs, and they are working, and sometimes 2 or 3 jobs. And so the ALICE report was first published for the state of Wisconsin in 2016, and it has been, there have been iterations in 2018, 2020, and there'll be an update coming up this spring, I believe, that really highlights these are the kinds of challenges that individuals and families are having on a day-to-day basis, whether they're employed or not. Whether it's how much you're paying for rent, how much you are paying for childcare, how much you're paying for food, health insurance, all of those things can come to bear and make it very difficult for individuals that look up and maybe they're one crisis away from the bottom falling out.
Right.
And It may be a medical situation. It may be they were downsized in their job. Just a host of factors, and it allows us to talk about the work that we do in a way that has really resonated with a lot of our donors, both individuals and businesses alike.
Fantastic. I believe there's a link for the Alice Report on your website
Yes,
as well.
there
So,
is.
and I think that we'll share that as well, because I do think knowledge is very powerful, and we all owe it to ourselves to be educated and make sure that if we're making references or talking about something, that we have the data to support
Absolutely.
the conversation that we're having. I'd like to turn a little bit and talk about you.
Okay.
So people always wonder about different career paths and how we end up where we end up. And you've had a variety of successful positions, and you weren't always in nonprofit either. And so could you talk a little bit about some of the variety positions that you've held? And then we landed at United Way. So.
Yeah, so I started off as an attorney on the East Coast. I'm originally from New York. My first job was for Rhode Island Legal Services, and always wanted to give back, and was fascinated with the law. But I wanted to be in the courtroom, and I wanted to help those that could not afford to hire a private attorney. And so started my career legal services. I became a prosecutor, so working in prosecuting white-collar crime, consumer protection. I had a private practice for a period of time, and then my legal career culminated when I served as a municipal court judge in the city of Providence. And then I took, it wasn't a sabbatical because I've never really gone back to it. So it took some time off and worked in ministry, worked in retail management. And to your point, when you're a leader, you kind of rise up to the top, mainly because you show up, right? And you get the work done. And then traveled a bit, landed here in Green Bay, did a little bit of legal work again to see if I wanted to dip my toe back in full time, and the answer was no. So I'm a recovering attorney. But then I was approached about serving as the president of Freedom House Ministries, and I was on the board of directors, and I did not want to do it, and I was pretty emphatic.
I'm pretty sure you said no.
Yeah, I did say no. and to the credit of the board at that time, they continued, okay, let's talk about this, let's think about this, let's pray about this. And I decided to accept the position, and I was there for 8 years, and very happy that I did take that step.
If we could go back in time, what would you tell your younger self?
I spent a lot of time as an attorney working probably 6 days a week, many, many, many hours. And it was good for the career. I don't know that it was healthy for me. And so I would say find that that rhythm, not so much balance. Balance is not the great word for me because I always feel like, we're trying to keep everything going. But find that rhythm that really can serve you for the long haul, right? And then make sure that you have what I call the tribe or that circle of friends. I think in my younger professional days, I don't know that I had the same kind of support team that I have now.
That makes a
and that's critical because those are the folks that are going to tell you the truth. They're the folks that are going to say, right, you're off the deep edge, right? Like, yeah, I hear what you're saying. Wrong. Or you can do this and don't let the voices stop you. So those would be the two things.
Absolutely. Thank you for being you. I've been on the receiving end of your words of wisdom and your passion and your heart and your caring. So, Robyn, thank you so much for sharing a piece of you with us today. And as always, thank you for everything.
Thank you.